Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Let's make some spicy egg masala puffs today, and these are a really lovely yummy snack or a quick treat that you can make for your family or for yourself. It's yummy. So once you get your pan nice and hot and splutter some black mustard seeds in there, add all of the onions that you've chopped up with about half teaspoon of salt and saute it for about a minute. And this will start that softening process for the onions. And after a minute, you can add your ginger and the garlic that you've minced up, along with the curry leaves that you've minced up. And again, stir fry until everything is nice and soft and until the raw smell from the ginger and the garlic have gone. So it should be smelling nice and fragrant once it's all softened together nicely. Once you're at this point, you can add your dry spices into it. So I'm adding about a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a teaspoon of chilli powder, 2 to 3 teaspoons of coriander powder, 1 to 2 teaspoons of paprika powder. I'm adding some extra salt there, and I'm also adding some black pepper powder and some garam masala to this. So you just want to saute it for about a minute or two until once again these dry spices have kind of lost that kind of raw smell. So make sure that it doesn't burn. So at this point you can lower the heat or the flame to about low. So the next step is to add in your tomatoes and make sure that they soften down nicely and cook through completely, and essentially they have to lose all of the moisture that's in them, because you do want this to be a nice dry masala and not a very watery one, because otherwise once you fill it in the pastry and cook it, it might make your pastry a little bit soggy. So this can take a while. I would say do this on a medium heat and stir it continuously. It's probably going to be about 10 minutes or so. And at the end of that, you should get a nice dark masala that sticks together like so, with very little moisture in it. So we've done the hard bit already, which was just to make all the separate ingredients and get them ready to do the final bit, which is assembling your lovely spicy egg puffs. So what I've done, as I've shown you in the previous video, is just to cut these puff pastry into little squares. So I got the pre-rolled sheets and I managed to cut them into 6 squares each. So you might have already noticed my hands are nice and sort of greased up with some vegetable oil here, and that's because handling the pastry without a bit of grease on your hands can be a little bit tricky, and everything sticks and it gets a bit messy. So this next bit is really nice and simple, the assembling bit. All you've got to do is grab a nice square of that puff pastry that we've cut out. So we're just going to put a little bit of that masala in the center right there. So, a good tablespoon of it, a little bit less if you don't want it very spicy. That's completely up to yourselves really. So you can have it nice and heavy on the masala, or nice and light. And then all you've got to do is just fold the corners of the square right into the center like so, and you get a nice little parcel that's gonna be baking in the oven soon. So nice and simple. So in between each of the puff pastry that you make, just make sure that you just get your hands all greased up again. Just as I said, it just really helps with making sure that it's nice and easy to handle. So once again, I'll just show you what I'm doing. I promise you guys, this is honestly very easy, as long as you've got greased up hands. Okay, so you just pop that all into the center and then roll up your parcel like so, nice and easy, and pop them onto your greased and lined parchment paper that's sitting on your nice baking tray. So let's carry on and finish this up now. So in the meantime, just make sure that you get your oven nice and hot, 180 degrees fan, and if it's not a fan oven, then you probably want it to be about 200 degrees. It's probably going to be baking in there for, about 20 minutes or so, until the crust is nice and golden brown. We're also going to be giving it a bit of an egg wash as well, just to get it a nice lovely color on top. So there you go guys, we're nearly done. It only takes, honestly, about 5 minutes or so to assemble them once you're at this stage. So this is definitely one of the, you know, favorite tea time snacks. When I can't be bothered to make it, I have to say, you know, this goes down a treat every time I make it. So that's it. We have done the hardest bit, which was assembling the puff pastry parcels with the masala eggs inside. Now the easy bit, which is just to give it a nice egg wash at the top and then stick them in the oven for about 20 minutes or so. You might need it a little bit longer. The aim is to get a nice golden, you know, crust on the pastry. The other thing you can do is poke a couple of holes in this pastry as well with a nice sharp knife, just to make sure that any of the steam that comes from the baking is obviously gonna escape and not make the pastry really soggy. So I just had to go and move it into a slightly bigger baking tray just so that I can space out the parcels a little bit more. So I don't want it to kind of, you know, as it's cooking, stick together on the edges. And I want to get that nice golden brown, you know, crust for the pastry all the way around. Hey, so that's the end of the video. I hope you really like this recipe, and thank you so much for supporting and subscribing to my channel. If you are new to this channel, a very warm welcome and thank you so much for being here. If you like my videos, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button and press the bell notification so you get reminders every time I post new videos. And hopefully I'll be back soon with more yummy, simple recipes for all of you guys. Just a quick tip regarding the pastry and regarding the eggs. So the pastry that I used is a low-fat puff pastry, and of course if you're counting calories, this is a much better option for you. However, it does affect the texture of the puffs. It's not as crumbly and crispy as you know, your full-fat puff pastry is going to be. So if you prefer a much more crispy and a crumbly texture, I would recommend definitely sticking to the full-fat puff pastries. But you know, I'm definitely watching my calories a little bit, so I'm sticking to the lighter, you know, the low-fat puff pastry version. The other thing is about eggs. I know not everybody likes hard-boiled eggs, so of course you can replace it if you like with prawns. You can replace it with your favorite mixed vegetable mix. So obviously pre-cook your vegetables and your chicken or your prawns if you're choosing to substitute the eggs, and use it the same way as we did in the video that I have just shown you. So I hope you guys do try this. Let me know how you got on. Until next time, happy cooking, bye. Hey Jerome, do you like it? Do you like your egg puffs? Is it yummy?